Intense Investor here, coming at you again. Just got done with the AMA with Playable Games. Jonathan answered a lot of good questions that we threw at him. Plus, he answered a lot of stuff just on his own. He's very transparent, you know, the way he answered things. So hats off to him. He's a great guy. They got a great vision. So make sure you check this out. The AMA also involved James Pelton, another great YouTuber, and a couple of other Jonathan's colleagues at Playable Games. So be sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, check me out on Twitter, Telegram, Discord. I do appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
And Michael Hanlon is our CEO, and he's on a phone, so that could be dodgy. It's the best we can do, unfortunately. So,
sounds good. Nice to meet all of you.
Yeah, good to meet you guys.
Hello. Where are you based, James?
I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska.
So middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty chilly part of the world at this time of the year, wouldn't it?
You know, usually it is. We're about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. You guys probably Celsius, I assume. I can't do that conversion in my head.
What's 30 degrees Fahrenheit? That's like almost
10?
zero, isn't it?
I think it's about 0. Yeah, something like that.
-1,
I guess. Yep. There you go. So it's a little chilly, but it gets worse. We have pretty terrible weather. It gets really cold in the winter, really hot in the summer. Not a lot to do around here, but
but make a little bit of cash.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, I mean, you guys, this is your show, so I'm just going to leave it up to you to ask the questions. And firstly, I just want to start by saying thank you, I suppose, for inviting me, because as I said before we started recording, without your help, we wouldn't even got launched. So I'm a very loyal person, and when people help me, I help them. So as we grow, and Playable Games has goals to be quite significant, we don't want world domination or anything, but we just want to be able to make a difference out there. But as we grow, we want you guys to come with us, and if we can help you somehow, that'd be great. We'd love to do that. So.
Awesome. Well, yeah, appreciate the time. So I don't know, Evan, do you just want to like switch back and forth? Take
yeah, if you guys are ready, I can kick it off here. Ready?
Sure.
Jonathan?
Well, do you want to? I probably should just introduce Michael Hanlon's our CEO.
How you doing,
Michael's
Michael?
at an event. He's actually
thanks, mate.
Are you ready for this? He's at an axe throwing event today where they're throwing axes at. So like bloody hell. I mean, I'm trying to run a company here, and he's off doing stuff that's fun. You know,
it's a skill that could come in handy. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
People
Crypto's
keep
the
asking,
Wild West. You never know.
People keep asking, "What's your gaming experience?" Oh, we've got Michael off training now. Yeah, kill more orcs. Kill more orcs. And Sam is our dev. He runs all of our back end, and a very smart young man, which I'm forever saying, Sam, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you just make it happen? So, and he runs a team of devs. We've got, I think, 2 on board underneath Sam.
Nice.
And they are, one of our rules is that if Sam doesn't know something well enough, hire above himself. And we've just hired a guy today that when Sam rings me up after hiring him and says, this guy's wicked smart, I'm like, yeah, I want wicked smart on our team. I love that stuff.
Oh yeah,
so,
it's always a good thing there.
All right, fire away with the questions.
All right, so you've been bringing a lot of people onto the team. Some of the people I think you might have knew from past experiences or past companies you were in. Yep. You tell me more about certain members, you know, on your team, you know, the depth that you got just overall, and how you see that changing in the future going forward.
Okay. Well, I think the first thing to cover here is the underlying question. I mean, a lot of people are asking, there seems to be this delusion that you have to be a gaming company to do what we're doing. And this is like, someone compared me to Elon Musk the other day defending me, and I just laughed because I'm not Elon Musk in I'm not even half as smart as Elon Musk, and I'm certainly not as good looking. So there's no way that I would never ever even think that. But it is in some respects an interesting analogy that Elon is not a rocket scientist, and yet he's built a rocket company. Elon's not an electrical engineer, and yet he's built the largest electric car company in the world. And Elon's not a tunnel digger, but he's building the boring company and digging. So what Elon is good at is finding the best people in the world and bringing them around him and surrounding himself with fierce intelligence, and then being able to manage that group and make them do things and get the funding for them. That is what Playable Games is doing. I didn't hire Michael because he's good at killing orcs. I hired Michael because he's got 3 business degrees, an MBA, and an international business degree, because he's going to be on the plane putting together. We just bought a gaming company this morning, like an hour before this meeting, and we haven't done the paperwork, so I can't announce it. But the paperwork is being done, and presuming that paperwork doesn't fall into some hole in the next couple of days, we'll be able to announce it in the next couple of days. So obviously the world's a funny place, and we haven't got it signed, so we're not announcing it. Once it's signed, and we will announce it. And if it does come off, wow, people are going to be impressed, because we've just bought a cracking good game. And my sons, who are gamers, have been playing it for a week. It's actually playable. It's in beta right now, and they don't have funds. And that's what Playable Games is about. We want to actually fund these game developers. Do you want to take it from there, Mike?
Absolutely. To jump in there, there's probably on our radar now at least a dozen other opportunities of a similar ilk at varying degrees of development.
Wow.
And they are all games that we can either complete and bring to market, or they're gaming companies who have a game that they haven't been able to make commercially successful, or they are concepts that we can put the dev teams behind and take to market.
Yeah. Yeah. So the people on our white paper, there's a group of them there. We've got a couple of devs. We've got a web developing guy, Chopper. He looks after our website for us and manages the team there. We've got my 2 sons, Sam and Jet. They do, well, they're young. They're gamers, really. I mean, they're here. There's a family business. My wife and I have a master's in marketing each. So we know a little bit about marketing. So we get suggestions every day. On day 2, we were told we knew nothing about Twitter. And then day 7, we're looking okay. A good growth on Twitter is 20 new people a day, and we're doing probably 200 a day. So it's a nice growth. And look, part of that's for you guys. You guys are bringing in the clout there, so that's great. But Jet does a lot of the game testing. Sam's expertise is, and both of them are working in community management. Like, they're actually we've got a real passion to answer questions. If you've got a question, come into our Discord. Don't be afraid. Like, there's people flinging out shit around the internet that's totally untrue. And, come into the Discord and ask questions. One of us is around, we'll answer it. And if we don't answer it in 30 seconds, we'll come back and answer it shortly, So, but our core team, we've got Harrison, who's our lawyer. He used to work for the Australian Tax Department, cut his teeth in there as a prosecutor and an auditor. And he basically has left the tax department now and is advising businesses full-time on how to structure their tax to pay the least legal amount of tax. And when I found him, I thought I might have a need for that, which we definitely do now with the success we've had. So I'm very glad he's in, and every day he's on advising us. We're going to be setting up other companies around the world. So it's the team's strong. We've built the team to be a functional business first and not a game company first. We want to make sure we don't go broke. We want to make sure the people doing each job know what they're doing. Like, normally in gaming companies, they say, oh, who's going to do the marketing? Oh, well, Pete's doing nothing. Why don't we get Pete to do the marketing? As if marketing can just be done by Pete, who made sandwiches yesterday and dug holes the week before that. And now he's in a gaming company. I mean, that's insane. Like, you hire a marketer to do your marketing and they cost $150,000 a year for a good marketer. So that's who you get to do marketing. Michael's not here for $12.50 an hour. Michael's here on a nice big wage, and he's here because he's got 3 degrees and he knows all about business. Froggy's not doing this for $12.50 an hour. Froggy's here because he's done his work and he understands crypto and he knows how to put together smart contracts. We've got 5 smart contracts running this thing, and they all talk to each other continuously. And those things don't always work, as OpenSea just proved this week when they told everyone, by the way, we're redeploying all our smart contracts, because they've got a hack in them, so anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Oh. Hey, can I ask, can you tell me a little bit about your background before coming to this, and then how the journey brought you from where you were into crypto gaming? Can you just tell me kind of in a...
Wow, it's a long story, but in a couple of big jumps, my core being started off as a door-to-door salesperson selling vacuum cleaners, door-to-door. 30 years ago. I'm 56 years old. I started selling vacuum cleaners door to door on my 20th birthday, 2021, thereabouts. And I actually love I love the sales process. I really like the starting a presentation, and I'm talking about old-fashioned in-house presentations where people let you in and you do a presentation of something and then they decide whether they want it or not. And I love the process of where they start saying no, like you get met at the door and they say, look, you can come in, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to buy. And then you do such a good presentation and you show them all the things this can do. And at the end of it, they say, you know what, I know I said I wasn't going to buy, but would I be able to? Because I say to them at the beginning, I'll tell you what, I won't let you buy. If that's how you feel, I won't let you buy at the end, and they have to ask me to buy. And that was really fun for me. I loved that. And over the years, the direct sales industry in Australia got closed out by the government. The government's a bit of a nanny state here. They try to protect everyone from everything. And it's a lovely place to live in our government. We've got a lovely, secure country, and I can't criticize Australia in many ways, but it would be nice if they let us be adults a little bit. That'd be, people can look after themselves.
Is that why you went to crypto? Is you went from too much regulation to no regulation? Is that kind of what brought you there?
Crypto, I'm anti-banking. I don't believe, here's a great example. And as crypto people, we know this. I've been told my whole life it takes 3 days to send money from one person to another. And the banks have to hold that money for 3 days. Now, anyone in crypto knows I can send money to Russia in 3 minutes and have the Russian guy go, I've got it, thank you. So there's no barriers of 3 days. They've been using that money on the overnight market. And I hate liars. And so that's my drive for crypto. I want the banking system dead, and I want the new crypto market to come through and let people manage their own money. And, now is there a space for banks? Sure. I mean, that's fine. I need somewhere to store my money here in Australia. That'd be lovely. But I don't want them stealing from me and telling me things that aren't true. So that's why I came to crypto. I have a bit of a passion there, but I'm not a revolutionary. I don't want to close all banks or anything, but that's my driver. But yeah. So I went from sales, went into, running my own companies. Mickey and I ran a company. How long ago, Mickey? Is that 25 years ago? Can't hear you, mate. You got mute on.
Yeah, it's actually closer to 30, unfortunately.
We're getting old. Part of our daily routine was a personal coach teaching us kickboxing, grappling. So that was an hour every day for 5 days a week. I think it's something we had Steve come in, or 3 times a week or something. A lot of fun, but that was a long time ago. And so then Mickey and I went our separate ways, and we've been friends on the phone as we've both traveled from state. We've had different businesses in different states around Australia. but we've remained a friendship, and we've gone our separate ways business-wise for 30 years. And then I've ended up in real estate. Someone on Twitter yesterday called me a failed boat salesman. That was fun. I wasn't a boat sale. I actually did sell boats at one point, but my failure he was talking about was I started Float in Australia, which is a Uber for boats, and it went ballistic overnight. We got massive traction. All the newspapers picked it up, all the radio stations. We were out of the gate at 1 million miles an hour, and the Queensland government actually just squashed it and said no, it's not going to happen. And they told us they were going to make it illegal. So we are now the only Western country in the world without a boat sharing company. So
which is actually the same as what they did with Uber here. So originally,
yeah.
I mean, I got to jump out of this call, guys, but I think what John's talking about and the thread that probably is consistent through all of this is that when you start out in a sales environment and you are so close to the customer like he has been and like I've been, and that's been, you know, our careers, it's always been about what a customer needs, what floats their boat, what do they enjoy, you know, what solves their needs. And I think that's probably translatable into any industry, gaming, crypto, customer insights, what it's all about. And I think that's the thread and the really strong definitive factor that, you know, I guess underpins where we're going. You know, someone who perhaps is a game developer, you know, they might be really, really strong technically, and it might be what they love to do technically, but do they have customer insight? You know, sometimes you've got to provide them with that customer insight. You've got to say, look, guys, technically this is fantastic, but it's actually not what the gamers want. It's not what they're enjoying. What we need to give them is what they want and what they enjoy. And sometimes they don't actually know what that is. Sometimes you've got to create it. So, you know, and John's really good at doing that, creating things that people didn't necessarily know they wanted. Float's a good example of that. You know, no one in Australia had considered the idea of being able to, sure, there was boat shared ownership schemes, but no one had really considered the idea of being able to go and get a 40-foot boat for the weekend and paying an owner who uses it for 10 days of the year to use it for that weekend. So, you know.
You're making me cry.
And I know, it's still a great idea. But as you and I both know, it'll never get past the regulators because, unfortunately, there's too much involved and too many forces against you there. So Uber was a different story, and Uber had enough overwhelming force to get past the regulators here. And, you know, I
don't know if you guys know what Uber did here, but they paid the fines. They got fined every day. Their drivers got fined $2,000 a driver every day, and Uber paid their fines for 2 years to get past the government. So that's the sort of thing that happened. And like with Float, we didn't have that sort of money, so we couldn't do that. But yeah, so, they threatened to impound people's boats. That's what they did to us. They were going to go and take people's boats off them. So our captain sort of went away.
Yeah. So look, I mean, for me, it's all about disruption. It's all about innovation. It's all about doing things in new ways and understanding what, you know, people will respond to and react to. And I think, you know, the last 10 days or so since the launch is a great reflection of being able to get that strategy right and understanding gamers and understanding people in this community and what will appeal to them. So on that note, I'm going to leave you guys to finish, and thanks for your time. I'm happy to join you at another time.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks, Mickey.
Thank you.
See ya.
Cheers,
good to meet you.
Bye. Bye.
So where do you guys see yourself being, say, in 1 year, 5 years, you know, 10 years down the road, if you had to make a educated guess about it?
Well, I mean, the answer to that's pretty simple, and that is that we're a week in. So, like, we've got a roadmap on our white paper. We've got a roadmap on our website. People can read it. Right now, our serious planning goes out to about 2 years. And this year is the one that's most important. And that is that our goal for this year is to buy 2 gaming companies, possibly 3. We've, as I said before, we've just, for all intents and purposes, we believe, signed the first one an hour ago. We haven't signed it, but we've got the yes from them, which is great. And we've got another one that, you know, told us to go away. They were quite rude to us in a lot of ways. But they said, we don't want your crypto money, was basically their thing a couple of weeks ago. And they had VC investment coming and it didn't come. So when I heard they didn't get their VC, I sent them another email and said, hey, how you going? And suddenly that crypto money sounded a little bit more appetizing. So we're back in negotiations, and it's a beautiful game. And I really want it because, like, what we are doing is we don't want to build shitty games that you can make $1.50 a day out of. I want to build a game that I would love to play, and the fact that I can make money out of it is an amazing bonus. So I would play it for free. That's the standard I want to build the game to. Will you play my game for free? And if the answer to that is yes, then I've built a good game. Now, if you can find things in the game that have value, and if you can do things in the game that you can get paid for, and if you can create things that you can make into NFTs and get paid, or you can win tournaments. We've got a game coming out that is like our Roboto Doggos design is a tournament game. So we're building a tournament game where you can actually play, and if you are good, you will make money because you'll get winnings. You have ticket entry. Everyone pays for tickets, and the winners get paid out. So I want to reward the top gamers without having to be an esports professional. You know, there's very few esports professionals.
Didn't you say there would be an opportunity to like find NFTs inside the game as well instead of just having to outright buy them also?
Absolutely. Yeah. We want, well, I actually, I mean, look, you know, one of my people I respect is Jason Brink from Gala Games. And he used to work for a charity before Gala Games. And one of the things I saw him say early on was he wants to help third world countries be able to access the gaming industry and make a living out of it. And Gala's actually achieved that already. There's people in the Philippines I know of that I've read about that are the child in the family, the 14-year-old, is making 3 times the monthly income per week that the parents are making in their jobs. And so they are actually helping people get better and move out of poverty. And if we can achieve that, that's going to be a spectacular. If we can add to that or help assist with that, that's a fantastic thing. So, yeah.
I think that's awesome. I like that goal too, because a lot of the play to earn games right now, it's like a chore on my to-do list is go in and get
I've got to go in. I've got to go in or else I'm going to lose
finish my
thing.
quest. Oh no.
Yeah.
So I will like that. If the games are, if you play them for free, I think that's a really good standard.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Games that you want to play.
We believe this game that we've just got today, when you see that, you are going to not believe it's a crypto game. You're going to be in shock. It's that good. So, I mean, as I said, I can't talk about it, but yeah, there we go. A couple of days away. I really hoped I could mention it in this meeting, but unfortunately the guy didn't turn up. The guy who was actually the final advising guy. But that's scheduled for 3 p.m. today. Our time. James, you're up for a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was kind of wondering, one of the big questions that I got is from people reading through the white paper is, I think they're used to nodes that don't require hardware. So people kind of read that in the white paper and it concerned them. They saw like 8-hour on time and things like that. And so me and you talked about this, but can you just talk maybe about a VPS and like how that might work? So people don't have to actually have their computer on for 8 hours and have their computer running these nodes, but maybe just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, one of the confusions about all this is everyone thinks we're going to run all the games on the blockchain, and that's probably most likely not going to happen very often. if we've got a little tiny farming game that's got low bandwidth and doesn't, you know, like you're doing something and then going away and it's just running in the background, not using what we call bandwidth, then that might be able to sit on the blockchain and be using the blockchain nodes, so other people's computer power. We haven't even done the maths on that yet, so we don't know, you know, but the blockchain that we're building is to store the NFTs and the who owns what, and that's got to be stored on the blockchain so it's safe and everyone knows. So the blockchain's about storing information on a distributed ledger that everyone can see, and there's no lies. And I actually, for me, the word is trustless. I love that word. You don't have to trust me. Like, you know, people, someone, the stuff that's being said is like, you know, how can we trust this person and stuff? The blockchain's about no trust. You don't need to trust me. It's going to be on the blockchain. So our contracts, Sam made a mistake on our contracts. Sorry. I don't know what that was. I just clicked yes. Was that good? Are we?
When in doubt, click yes. That's what I do.
Sam made the contract so transparent, he left out a function that we probably needed. So we learned the hard way that's why people leave that one in. So we're actually fixing that. We're in the process of fixing that right now. But luckily we have the money to do that, so it's a beautiful thing. But sorry, I've lost train of thought there. Can you bring me back on track?
I'm not sure totally where you were going, but I was I was gonna say though, you can tell when you're starting to make some traction when the haters start coming out. So I think it's good. It's a good sign that you have people coming out saying, "Oh, this is a scam. It's not going to work out. It's a rug pull, whatever." I think those are good signs.
I actually put out a scam meme today, and I used the Wolf of Wall Street guy, you know, where they're laughing their heads off. And someone said, "I don't think it's very appropriate that you use criminals that stole money from everyone." And I just wrote, guys, it's a meme. It's meant to be funny. We're not historians here. We're not teaching this in school to children. It's not important what we're talking about. It's just a meme. All we're trying to say is that when you call us a scam, we know we're not. And so that can go over my, what I don't like is when people accuse me of things that aren't true. I don't like that. And that's hurtful. And people seem to forget that I'm actually a human being on this end. And like, this whole thing's been started because I care about people. And, you know, when Evan helps me out of the gate, I'm the guy that says to Evan, whatever you need, mate, help. If I get in the position of power where I can help, I will help. And that's who I am. And the reason I've got Mickey in the company is that I'm terribly generous. And Michael's actually given me some commands about what I can and can't do. Like, you know, I won't even go into it, but it's just like, I tend to be a little bit too generous, and that's not good business. So I've got to run things past the CEO first before I can give money away and do that sort of within reason. I've got a budget, but you know, yeah. So yeah, but if people could understand that we're not made up fictitious characters here. We're live people with families, and people have said some scary things to us. Like, you know, we're coming to your house, and someone doxed us, actually shared our home address on the internet the other day. Like, yeah, it's just not cool. And, you know, so my children were scared. You know, it's not nice. But, you know, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
I'll sit on them.
To me, you know, most crypto projects, you just have a faceless, anonymous character at the top. And so, yeah, I appreciate you showing your face, giving your name, putting your LinkedIn on the website. I mean,
we've been told the LinkedIn profiles are fake, and there's no way someone like that 56-year-old guy is real.
I heard that.
Wow. I'm like, gosh, you could have just come to my Discord and said, do you want to hop on a call like this? And I would have. You know, I'm happy to show my face. I mean, I'm not scared. We're not doing anything wrong. We're not rug pulling. We're totally in this for the long haul. You know, we want to do something great.
I can tell you sometimes what happens is people, they realize they missed out at $200 a node, and they don't, they're at it's $3,700 a node now, and so then it makes them feel better to say no, it's a scam. I didn't miss out on anything. So just don't. It's amazing too for me as a content creator that one negative comment can overshadow 1,000 positive comments.
Actually, it's interesting you say that, because my son Jet, who's young bull, you'll see him around. He's whip smart, and I'm very proud of him, and Samuel as well. But Jet said in the car this morning, we were off to do an errand this morning, the three of us, and Jet said, Dad, you got to think out of perspective. There's 85-90% of people are saying super positive things, and you're upset about the couple of idiots that are saying untrue things. I said, yeah, but it hurts. And he goes, can you just grow? He's telling me, grow up, Dad. You know, sprinkle some concrete on your cornflakes and toughen up. You know, it's like, okay, I'll try harder.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of negative people out there. You just really got to try to overlook it, because like you were saying, just that one comment, sometimes, you know, you'll think about it, but you might get 100 good comments. So you just got to learn how to put that out of your brain.
Yeah. And it's going to get worse as you guys get bigger. If you get more traction, it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse. So just stay the course.
For that.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, you know, you guys pretty much answered. I had a big list of questions, but you kind of answered most of them. I was going to ask about what you were planning to do with the revenue from the node sales. But you bought a game.
Everyone keeps asking when am I getting my Lambo? I don't even have a wage. I don't even have a wage yet. Like, you know, I mean, I haven't even paid myself. It's all the money we've got right now. Like, we've got a lot of money right now, and it's not a fortune, but it's significant. And well, it is a fortune. It's a small one, but it's not mine. It's in someone said, oh, when are you getting a Lambo? And I'm like, well, where do you think that money is? It's in the company accounts. And we've got Michael's, as I said, he's got a business major within a major in accounting. Michael's looking after the money and making sure that it's not spent recklessly. And like, you know, over the next 6 months, I'll start to make some personal money, I presume, and I'll be able to pay myself. You know, we've got to get structures set up yet. So, you know, you don't want to pay too much tax. So we're in no rush to pay ourselves a lot of money. So the money's staying in the company. We've got enough money in the bank right now to run the company for 2 years, buying 3 gaming companies and paying all our staff excellent wages for 2 years. So we had a family meeting yesterday, and I was very happy to announce that we have reached our second milestone, which was scheduled. So our first milestone was enough to last for 1 year, and we reached our second milestone, which was enough to last for 2 years, and we reached that yesterday morning. So I haven't even looked this morning what it is. So it just keeps coming. Yeah. It's ludicrously funny to watch, and the numbers are so stupendous that you just like shake your head. But it's not my money; it's the company money. So yeah,
that's awesome.
I thought you guys handled the issue with the rewards drop the other day. I thought y'all handled that really well. You know, if anything, that should shed some light on something for a lot of people, just seeing how y'all handled that.
Well,
you know,
that was Sam's idea. Sam came out. Sam, maybe you can talk to that. That Sam came to me and said, "Well, look, you know, we've got all these company coins, and we know that we're not going to rug pull, but they don't." So Sam suggested we tell the story, Sam. Go for it.
Yeah, well, my first suggestion was, we start paying the 10% bonuses out of the company wallet. That's where they were going to come from. Anyway, like, you know, those bonuses, we're not minting those coins. We're paying for, you know, all that time that we, you know, couldn't pay people. So we're like, well, why don't we just start paying those 10% bonuses out now? And then we go, well, why don't we just pay it all out of the company wallet? There's no reason for us to have all those coins. We're not selling those coins. We're holding on to them, you know. So we just started, you know, putting that in motion, and it was a, you know, rough start, but you know, we're on track now, and we can keep paying people, and at the moment we're going to have to start, you know, dipping into our personal wallets, and you know, that's fine. You know, we're about the community and making sure that everyone else is happy and getting their rewards. It's not about, you know, just us. We want to make sure everything's sweet. All the all the members of the Discord, all the node holders are as happy as they can be. So
yeah,
we we just pay what we have already, and we're just giving it all away, to those excellent holders who have supported us so early. They're the
Absolutely.
reason that this is happening. It's not nobody else other than the people who have purchased those nodes. They're the ones that have made this happen.
Yep.
So they're the ones that should be rewarded. And if we take the hit on that, we take the hit on that. So.
Well, we know when the contract restarts that the coin, hopefully Sam can program it to send those coins back to us.
Normal again.
Yeah.
And then our wallets will refill. But yeah, Sam sent a text this morning saying we're going to have to access personal wallets. So we funded this ourselves. Sam put in a lot of money of his own. I put in a lot of money of my own. Both my boys put in personal money and significant thousands of dollars. I'm not talking about $3.50. Like me personally, I don't know, 40,000 in. So, there's a lot of money went into this to start it. And we did no VC. We had offers for VC. We said, no, we don't want VC involved. Those deals don't often work out very nicely. And Michael was very anti-VC. He said he wants this to be self-funded. We don't want to be beholden to people that just want to make a profit. And here's a perfect example, because if this was VC run, they would never have used personal funds or personal coins to pay out the bonuses each day to make sure everyone's happy. So for us, we know we're not rug pulling. We know when it turns back on. We're just waiting for Certec now to approve us. And when they approve us, the contracts will be turned back on, the coins will flow again, and everyone will get topped back up. And this time we're doing a claim system. We actually think we slowed down AVAX significantly with all the way we had it set up. And so we've reversed that now. So the claims will be done over a 24-hour period. Everyone will do them. Some people won't claim, like in Gala, we don't claim our Gala coins more than once every couple of months. So it just takes a lot of stress off the system. Yeah. But yeah, are you happy, Sam? You look pasty, mate. Have you seen the sun?
No, it's the lighting in this room. There's like a big glare coming out through the window.
Natural light.
You need some sun.
I don't see much sun these days.
I think Sam's working about 18 to 19 hours a day at the moment. And I text him. I think I text you at 2 a.m. this morning. Wake the fuck up. We've got the AVAX price is going down, and we've got to adjust the price because we're losing money. So I wake him up on text. I text him all day. So cool.
Awesome. What use cases do you have for the bull coin in the future? What are you thinking about price action there? What are you going to use it for?
Okay, well, yeah. So I think that leads to one of the big questions everyone's asking, isn't it? Why aren't you letting the bull coin be allowed to buy the node? That would put upward pressure on the price. We understand that, right? But what they don't understand is no one wants to buy the bull coin. And if we don't receive AVAX, I can't buy a gaming company and I can't pay my staff. I can't even pay my electricity bills because I don't know if they know, but as far as I know, my local electricity company won't accept bullcoin to pay the bills. So I need AVAX right now, which I can convert into USDT, and then I can convert that into Aussie dollar, and then I can bring that down into Australia and pay my bills. So Gala started the same way. Every company starts the same way. The only companies that don't start that way are the ones that drop all their coins onto the market and they're receiving US dollar for them when people are buying them. So that's a different model. We're not using that model. So for the first 3 months, we've got no intention of switching across to only bull. We need cash. And I've been in negotiation to buy a gaming company this last 3 days. And the reason that guy is talking to me is because I've got the millions of dollars I need to buy his company. And otherwise he wouldn't be talking to me. And he wouldn't be talking to me if I said, I've got 50 million bullcoin. He'd go, God, that's not going to pay my staff. And I'm not giving you the equity in my company for 50 million bullcoin. Now, in a year's time, that's a whole different story. They'll be able to look online. They'll be able to say, well, what does that sell for? And what's that worth? And how stable is it? That'll change. So, but in answer to your question, our very first, when we do the contract upgrade, actually, Froggy, is that happening? We're bringing in VIB, the VOB Club.
Yeah, VIB will be released as a part of the new upgrades. We'll do the new contracts, and then that'll be basically the day after everyone's started migrating across. That'll be one of the incentives, you know, to use the new bull coin is the VIB.
Okay, so that's 10,000 bull coin to buy into the VIB club, and very important bulls. And so it's a VI3, it looks like. But whenever you see R3, that's just like hip, groovy, young person, you know, names. So the 3, everyone, is a B. You know, it's like your passcode. Just think of it like that. So, but it's playable. Some people are calling it PLAYA3ULL, and it's just playable. It's a play on words. So yeah, we've got VIB, the VOB Club. So that's a club that's going to allow you every new game that is entered into our ecosystem. So our long-term goals, like years down the track, we'll probably have 100 games in our studio. As I said, I don't want to talk. It's all just made up at the moment. It's fantasy. Right now, we're talking about this year. We've got 3 gaming companies we're buying. The 3rd gaming company we're talking to has got 3 games in development right now. One of them is an RTS, which is really exciting because they're a bit off the boil at the moment. No one's making them. So I like RTSs. They're a lot of fun. I'm an old Red Alert. That got me into computer gaming. When I played Red Alert the first time, oh my goodness, I was in heaven. And like, you know, I can make things. Oh, I had a lot of fun. So that was I love it. And they're a great little crypto game because we can add a whole bunch of things in there that don't affect gameplay, but make it really good fun. So we're having merch come out. It's coming out shortly. We're making a whole bunch of T-shirts. They're going to be able to be bought with Bull. So we'll take a loss on that and just let people buy them for fun. Use their Bull coin to have a nice T-shirt they can wear out, and you know that's going to be good. We've got all of the NFTs being bought in game will be bought with Bull. So let's say we've got one of our games that we're building in-house that we want to build is I'm a survival game. I play Daisy. That's one of the games I play. I want to make a version of that that's built in Unreal Engine 5 and super realistic change a few. I actually built a server of mine. I ran a server all last year. And I want to duplicate that server I built because I had it right. I think I got the mix right. But one of the things you'll have in that when you find something while you're grinding it out, you might find something that's legendary, let's say, and you'll know instantly that is worth $50,000 on the open market. So again, we're going to put those gems in there, built into the game, hidden. You'll have to search for them, exploring. You know, when I played WoW, my son laughs at me, but when I played WoW, it took me 6 months to get to level 40. And like, you know, people were doing it in like 14 days back then on, you know, vanilla WoW. And the reason it took me 6 months was that I thought that they hid things. So I'd swim down to the bottom of the lakes and I'd waste so much time exploring, looking. I thought you might find a good sword down there or something, that someone had died and their sword had fallen into the lake. But we're going to do that. We're going to build that into the game and make it really, you know, have Easter eggs built in. Nice finds. Yeah, we're going to say all NFTs. So when you find something in game, you'll have the chance to change it to an NFT. And if you don't want to, you can just leave it in your game and the game will own it. But if you want to keep that forever, you want that to be an asset for you, then you can change, you'll be able to pay it, and we'll have a facility to actually change it into an NFT. We're going to have upgrade packs. So if you want to buy extra coin in game and stuff, you know, if you need to do that, you'll be able to buy that with Bull. We're going to have the nodes, of course, will be bought with Bull, possibly in 3 months. We're not promising that, but that's about the time frame. We think we're so far ahead. We're currently at July next year is where we're at on our goals. So we're a year and a half in front. So we're happy. And so we're thinking nodes bought with Bull in 3 months, we think.
So there's a question I keep seeing pop up a lot in your Discord, my Discord. I'm sure some of James' groups probably also mentioned it, but I see a lot of people asking when they're going to be able to mint nodes using the Bull coin, you know, not AVAX.
So we think about 3 months. So we can't promise because it depends on how much money we've got, but we've got enough money to run the company now. Yeah, no, so we think about 3 months. We believe that that's about right.
Good. I appreciate that.
Well, that was all that was on my list. So you answered, you kind of, in some of your speeches, you answered a bunch of them together. So that's good.
Yes. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. No, that's good. That's, you know, I always, in these AMA type things, people didn't come to hear me talk. They hear me talk every day. So they're
That's
here
right.
to learn about you. And
Yeah.
I think it's helpful putting a face with the project, because like you said, when people are spreading, you know, fear and things like that, they don't realize, oh wait, this is an actual person. It's just words on a screen. So face helps make it real.
Trust, transparency, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I am a believer in it, and I like, you know, I mean, I think the world could be a much nicer place if people would just say what they mean and then do what they say. You know, I mean, I can't promise this is going to be a successful project. I say every day in my Discord, don't invest more than you afford to lose. Like, I can't promise. I've had so many failures in my life in the sense of businesses that just got caught on the wrong side of something. You know, gosh, in my 30s, I was worth $2 million, and the Australian government took me to court saying I was breaking the law, which I wasn't. And I lost everything, lost my cars, lost my house. You know, and when the head lawyer comes up to you after the case and apologizes and says, I'm really sorry, that was a total overreaction on our part. And I say, well, who do I sue to get my money back? And they say, well, we're untouchable. I'm like, well, thanks for your apology. You know, so I want people to be careful. And, you know, crypto's a dangerous place, and we all know that. We're all big boys. So I've lost a lot of money in NFTs. I've had several rug pulls done on me, and I've made a lot of money in NFTs. Like Jet's a massively good trader. At 19 years old, he's wicked smart, and he basically just gets trading NFTs. And we got that beautiful window. When was that? Sort of like August to November last year. Oh, actually, before that, it was probably July, August. Yeah. Anything that came out went upwards by multiple hundreds of percent.
It was July,
and I think we made 30,000 in a couple of days, like US dollars, just trading NFTs. And that was a bundle of fun. And then just overnight, it just collapsed, and it was blood in the streets and NFTs. And that's why we don't refer to our license as an NFT, because, you know, people think an NFT is a naughty thing, but an NFT, as Froggy will be able to tell you, is a beautiful piece of work that does a very specific job and is immutable and trustless. And, you know, you guys give us your money and you get your NFT that is your license to own a node, and you own it for the rest of your life if you want to, or you can sell it when we've sold 50,000 nodes, you know, whatever you want to.
I do like how you made the nodes NFTs that you can put on your hard wallet instead of it just being on like a centralized dashboard on Gala Games that hacker might possibly hack, you know, get your 2FA somehow, you know, and then slurp all your NFTs and Gala coins, all that stuff out. So that was a good idea.
Well, like, we had to actually address the issue that to fund this, we had to put in a lot of money. And so we wanted to give ourselves some nodes, and in exchange for the funding. So we personally bought the first 50 nodes. That's what I bought. So with my money. So, and a lot more, like I paid a lot more than that, but I gave myself 50 nodes in exchange for the money. But when we bought those, there was a problem. I don't want to set up 50 computers right now. I don't have a need for any computing power. We don't have a game out. So there's nothing to store. But I know that if I'm going to be buying a node, I want to get rewards for having that node. So how can we give the rewards? And when Froggy and I were talking about it, we came up with the idea that we could actually build and put into an NFT that becomes the license that holds the rights. That's immutable. It's storable on the blockchain. No one can take it off you. And then as we actually build the software, so we've got stage 2. So we're in stage 1 right now, which is just the license. And then stage 2 will be in 3 to 6 months when we need some computing power. You have to have one computer loaded with software, and that will run, that'll use a very small proportion of your computer power. You can use a VPS if you want to, which is just a virtual private server. And they're about $15 a month, I think, to run. And Froggy's making a one-click install software. So unlike normal nodes now where you got to be an engineer to install them, we're just going to like click one click and it just like downloads the stuff and puts on your computer for you, and it will talk to your internet and do all that. So hopefully I haven't overstated that, Froggy. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I tend to be the sail on the sailing ship, and I need a couple of people that act as the keel to stop this thing from flipping over. So that's what I want to do. I want to make it a one-click install, and Froggy said that we can do it. So, you know, if it might be 2 clicks, maybe, I don't know, but it'll be very straightforward and intuitive. So, a person who's not an engineer, as long as you've got the ability to speak, you should be able to put this thing on your computer and run it. And you'll need to have it on for 8 hours a day on stage 3. And so if you look at Gala's got a good example of this. A lot of people say they've only sold 23,000 nodes or 12,000 nodes, or there's all different numbers. It's because they're looking at how many computers are on right now. And they only need 6 hours a day. So they need to go and look at what the actual sales are. They've sold 42,000 nodes, and they've done a magnificent. And actually, that's something I'd like to really talk about. Is people think that I'm anti-Gala. I own a Gala node. Like our family owns a Gala node. I raised $1 million for a gaming company through Gala, and gave it to a gaming company. They're developing a game for Gala right now called Faster. And I love Gala. I think Gala, I think I put it on Twitter the other day, I think Gala is the trailblazer who have hacked through the forest to make the trail. And we have this beautiful privilege to just bundle along the trail they cut, and we're laying a freeway behind us. So, you know, people say that I don't like Gala. I love Gala. I think Gala have done a magnificent job. And, you know, do I agree with everything Gala does? Of course not. I don't. And they won't agree with everything I'm going to do. And that's okay. We're allowed to be disagreeable. And we're allowed to disagree. Let's not be disagreeable. I don't want to fight with them. I think they've done a magnificent job. I think Jason is one of the smartest guys I've seen. And I think Eric plays on boats and does a lot of fun things like hang out with Snoop Dogg. But I don't think Eric's in the company too much. But what I see is Jason doing a magnificent job running the company. And, you know, they've got a lot of smart people they've hired. And that's what everyone doesn't understand about money. We have money now. The talks I'm in now, right, to hire people, the people I'm talking to hire and bring into this team, they are way smarter than me when it comes to gaming. We're putting together 3 of the smartest Australian game devs that have brought games out in the past, and they're going to be advising us on every game we buy. They're going to pull the code apart, make sure we're not buying a dog, make sure that the game developer's not pulling like, you know, what did we lose, Froggy? We lost all our money to a Pakistani dev team that stole our money for our nodes. They sent us a whole bunch of fake code, and they did it in such a way that they did it. You can't run it until all 5 pieces are in place. And when Froggy ran it, he texted me and said it's a fake. It's all just made up. So we lost all the money there. Had to do it all again. So hard lessons learned. But we're going to make sure it doesn't happen with gaming companies, because you're talking millions of dollars at a time. So we're hiring a team of devs to actually pull the game apart before we buy it and make sure it is what they say it is. So it's going to be fun times. I mean, guys, we're going to be rolling out some exciting stuff. And we're a year away from, like, our first game. If this first game comes off, we've got beta coming out in 3 months. So that's because it's already at beta. It's ready. So, but we've got to just add in the crypto side to it. It's going to take a couple of months. And yeah, it's going to be good. Stay tuned.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of it. So thanks for reaching out. And it seems like, I know you guys, it was early. I always tell my channel that there's a risk reward, that at the beginning, early, very high risk, but there's very high reward. So you can wait. Now it's less risk now to get a node because there's been so many sold, but now it's going to cost you $3,700 for if you got in originally 200.
Yeah.
So
Yep, that's right.
Look, almost none of my friends got in, and I get calls every day now. Can you get me one? And I'm like, get you one how? It's on the blockchain. What am I going to do? Like I told you at the beginning, this is on the blockchain. I can't change it once it starts. So it is what it is. Like, you know, it's that's what it costs. So when we give away a free node, we're not giving you a free node. We're sending you $3,700. So that's what we have to do. And tomorrow it'll be $3,800, and the day after it'll be $4,000. And as long as it keeps moving upwards, that's the cost of the node. So, but that's transparency, and that's being on the blockchain. Everyone they know what they're getting. So I like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Well, thank you very much for letting us be part of your journey. And thanks for doing this AMA. I'd be happy to do if in the future, as you have new announcements, you know, when you get your mystery game purchased all through, happy to be part of
3 days, hopefully 3 days.
3 days. Yeah. All right.
When I've got contracts signed, I believe you me, I will be sharing it.
Sounds great. I'm excited to play them too.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Do you have anything else, Evan? Or are you done?
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Jonathan. I thought it was a great AMA. Yeah, you went over a lot of stuff. Just like James said, you answered a lot of things. And one question that could have been a lot of different questions. But good to meet you, Sam. Good to meet you, James. Nice to meet you. That's really all I got. Yeah.
Great. Well, once again, thank you. Because I'm actually humbled by the support we've got. So yeah, there you go. All right, shut this thing off.
All right, y'all. Well,
radio.
Have a good day. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.